Labor Day to you. I hope you've had a fine weekend. This is a LowFi THORnews weather update video. My LowFi videos means that my super duper top shelf best in the world editing skills will not be used on this video. It's gonna be a live one take, and we're gonna take a look at things like we got Hermine, we got Newton off of Mexico, and we got Hermine off the East Coast. Now, the good news is it is farther east than we thought it was going to be. Now, if you can see, if you didn't happen to watch the video I put up, that if this hurricane thingy would have been a few more miles to the west, all those cities would have been in severe trouble. We were talking about major flooding in major cities like, I was going to say New Jersey, but I guess it's not a city. Does New Jersey have cities? Atlantic City. And the show that what's-her-face was from that one show that annoyed everybody. I watched 30 seconds, Jersey Shore or something. Anyway, what am I talking about? Oh, we're talking about hurricanes. But yeah, if that thing would have moved closer to the west, a lot of people would have drowned. It would have been major trouble. Did I stop that and move it with my mind? I don't know, maybe. I had this wild dream a couple nights ago, and it was in a great battle to save lives. Anyway, maybe I didn't. Maybe our government paid the space pirate ransom, and though I don't know what they would have asked for, because they got control of all the currency in 2008, so maybe they asked for rights or something. Maybe peace on Earth. Maybe there's been a change at the top. Anyway, so look at Newton and Hermine. Now, Hermine is, the reason I was freaking out about Hermine is that it was supposed to sit there, except closer in, for about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. So it'll still be there for like 5 more days. So I still think it could cause some problems. And overall, we've got some major weird wackiness going on, party people. And that I've been called a fearmonger for Hermine, but all I do, you can ask Sage, my brain works in best case scenarios and worst case scenarios. And now you can hope for best case scenarios. You ain't got to worry about that, because it's a best case scenario. You ain't got to do a whole lot of planning. When you think about the worst case scenarios and you plan to avoid that. And all I had been saying was that if that happens, we're in deep doo-doo. And that overall, we're still kind of in deep doo-doo. Because something's happening here. And what it is, that ain't perfectly clear. For example, let's take a look at the mean sea level pressure, which to me means outer space pressing in on Earth. And the bad boy at the top by Greenland, between Greenland and Europe, that's been there for like 2.5 years. And that is the thing that is totally disrupting the weather right now, in my opinion. One of the many things. And so I'm talking about the giant-looking cherry ball-looking things at the top. Anyway, if this video's a little off, I apologize. I'm a little tapped out on weather videos. Like, they're not always fun. Like, for example, I spent, I don't know, the last few days driving around. Every time I drive with Sage, I'd be like saying, hey baby, I can see like 25-foot storm surge flowing in the city. It was like watching the movie 2012 over and over again. So my imagination ran wild, seeing a bunch of people die because of empathy. You can feel it, and it's not a good feeling. Emotional breakdowns. And anyway, let's just get back to the weather. Yeah, so this means sea level pressure. So where you see the purple areas, that's where outer space is pushing in on our bubble pretty hard. That's how I interpret it anyways. And so we've had a lot of mean sea level pressure movement areas, weird stuff going on, and that is messing with the jet stream. Like, let's take an example. Let's look at the jet stream now, shall we? It's 250 kilometers up, and look at that baby. There's your jet stream, buddy. So America's here, and then it dips down, and then it goes up, and it's down, and it's up, and it's down, and it's up. You got swirlies everywhere, and then your giant hole at the top. Wonderful. Okay. Now let's look top down, shall we? Oh yeah. So for people who are like, hey, man, the weather's not really freaking out. I don't agree. Like, look at this thing. You know? Like, they start off in Africa, and then they swirl around, and there's a giant pulse. I mean, the whole thing just looks like madness. If we're watching, like, just watch, man. Look with your eyes. see it with your mind. And does that look normal to you? Does that look like, okay, everything is peachy keen, rosy? I mean, watch them pulse, pulse, pulse. The equator line is going cray-cray. And then what is going on in the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean? I don't know. Look at that. That is just nasty. So yeah, these are our oceans, and there's some weird stuff going on. And as BP has pointed out, Sage pointed out to me, if you watch the pink pulse in Africa, it pulses in Africa, and then it pulses in California, and on the west coast in America, which is really weird. Pulse. They go back and forth like a seesaw. And yeah, I don't know, but the oceans look extremely active. Alright. Now let us, cat's getting bored, so let's switch over. Oh no, unfortunately, pictures of the sun have popped up. So let's look at that real quick. See that giant coronal hole at the top? And the filament in the middle? That's a bit scary, wouldn't you say? Not scary. You shouldn't be scared of nothing. And we got a giant sunspot right now, facing right at Earth. If it fires at Earth, that means people can act weird. And they told us Stereo B's cameras back up, but I ain't seen no data anytime soon. All right, now to this camera, which I love. Love this camera. I love you, camera. Come here, give me a hug. Man, and if this video's not that good, forgive me. I'm laboring on Labor Day. What do you expect, man? You want your money back? Okay. Give me your address. So as you can see, like, we got Hermine whipping up the coast, and then she's just going to kind of hang out in that one spot for 5 or 6 days. I've never seen a hurricane do that. Not in my 7,000 years here on Earth. Okay, I made that up. I'm not 7,000 years old. But as we can watch, like, it's all pretty crazy. I mean, and then you got Newton hanging off by Mexico. And apparently that giant thing is going to cause a whole lot of moisture into Texas. You're going to have moisture coming in from the Baja California area and then coming up to the East Coast area. We could have some pretty bad storms this week. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw major flooding. And overall, you know, like how many cities have we seen flooded in the last 3 years, or even the last 5 or 6 years, and compare that to the last 20 that we remember? Now, people could say, oh, well, they got cameras and cell phones now. That don't matter. Like, if New Orleans had flooded, you know, in 1999 or 1984, I think I would remember seeing high water up to the stadium or whatever. Man. Love will tear us apart again. Yeah, so for the fact that Newton looks nasty, and as Newton grows, that thing is going to bring a whole lot of moisture in. And then I will reiterate the fact that Hermine is just going to be staying in the same spot for like 5 days. That is just weird and mildly alarming. You know what I'm saying? And see, like, you have this giant spot here. You have these giant spots there. And there's a mean sea level pressure point that I was talking about. Let's go back to round Earth. Ballosphere, as I like to call it. Love will tear us. Alright, sorry, so sloppy. So yeah, now look at the mean sea level point that I'm talking about. Now let's go back to next lab. Boom. And so notice how it pulls the stuff up to that mean sea level point, which disrupts the normal flow of things. And that, so, I don't know, it's like Newton and Hermine are in some weird binary system. They're going to be thugging shiz up, people. Alright. So there you go. Did the cat just speak English? Oh wow, hold on. Our cat is going crazy ripping stuff up. So yeah, I mean, Hermine is not going to cause major damage to major cities this week, thank God, as far as we know. Hopefully it's not going to move any more to the west. But, you know, I just wanted to say that, I mean, overall the situation is still weird, and that we should be on alert and aware. I mean, I don't expect it to get better anytime soon, do you? I mean, like, Newton is nasty. Oh yeah, the one other thing I want to show you. So, I mean, sea level, like, Sage found it on a phone app that I can't get from Wonderground, but you can see the mean sea level point here. There's a giant, almost looks like a giant hurricane, and then Hermine is the tail of that hurricane, and then it's like Newton is the tail of Hermine. You know, and then like once every 3 weeks, they all connect up and cause a lot of damage. And so that point's probably coming, but just look at that area right there. I mean, that's crazy. Anyway, so I hope everybody had a great Labor Day. You know, someone said that I would much rather have 20 million people die so I could be proven right about Hermine. That is totally false. I'm right so often, it actually feels good to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Proves that I'm human. Asterisk. At least half human. Anyway, the other half is awesome. Well, okay, so unless major weather stuff happens, my next video will not be about weather. And I don't think it'll be very serious. Because gosh dang, I almost had a nervous breakdown at the end of that hurricane crap, you know? Anyway. God bless everyone. I appreciate everyone staying tuned, being aware, and being one of the cool kids. This internet hug is for you, but not in a way that would make Sage jealous, because I don't like to be jealous. Nobody likes to be jealous. Anyway, peace out. There we gotta go. Have a good night. All right, everybody. Happy Labor Day to you. I hope you've had a fine weekend. This is a LowFi THORnews weather update video. My LowFi videos means that my super duper, top shelf, best in the world editing skills will not be used on this video. This is going to be a live one take, and we're going to take a look at things. Like, we got Hermine, we got Newton off of Mexico, and we got Hermine off the East Coast. Now, the good news is, it is farther east than we thought it was going to be. Now, if you can see, if you didn't happen to watch the video I put up, that if this hurricane thingy would have been a few more miles to the west, all those cities would have been in severe trouble. We were talking about major flooding in major cities, like, I was going to say New Jersey, but I guess it's not a city. Does New Jersey have cities? Atlantic City. And the show that what's-her-face was from that one show that annoyed everybody. I watched 30 seconds. Jersey Shore or something. Anyway, what I'm talking about, we're talking about hurricanes. But yeah, if that thing would have moved closer to the west, a lot of people would have drowned. And it would have been major trouble. Did I stop that and move it with my mind? I don't know, maybe. I had this wild dream a couple nights ago, and it was a great battle to save lives. Anyway, maybe I didn't. Maybe our government paid the space pirate ransom, and though I don't know what they would have